Welcome back. In this lesson, we'll explore f-strings, an efficient way to format and combine strings with variables in Python. In our last video, we performed several operations on strings like string concatenation, where we join two or more strings together to become a single string using the addition operator. Now, concatenating string like this has few downsides like difficulty in adding spaces between words. For example, in our last video, we form full name from John and Doe. So we have John, then we also have Doe. So to provide space in between it, we have to do this so that we can have space in between it, right? So this is one of the ways that we can add space between strings using addition for the string concatenation. Another way to do this is to can say John, then add space to John, and then so we have the second string. This is another way to do it. Another way to do that is adding the space before the second string. Then so these are the various ways that we can add space using the addition operator for string concatenation. Adding spaces like this can be so stressful, and there is another problem of concatenating different data types to form a string. For example, let's say we have a variable of age to be equal to, let's say, 30. Okay, now we want to add 30 to another string to form a sentence. So let's say we want to print, let's say we have a string of I am. Okay, now we want to add it to age. So we have another string of years old. Okay, now what we want to form from here is we want to say I am age, which is 30, so I am 30 years old. All right, let's add the space before this. If we run this now, let's see what we have. So we run it to type error, and the type error is telling us that we can only concatenate strings. We cannot concatenate integer to a string. As you can see, our age is an integer because 30 is an integer. So we can only concatenate string and string. We cannot concatenate string and integer. These problems are solved with f-strings. F-strings, also known as formatted strings, are a tool in Python that lets us easily insert variables and even some expressions right into a string. Instead of manually concatenating variables and text like this, f-strings handle this automatically, which makes your code cleaner and easier to understand. There is a way to manually convert this number to string. Like we have here, we have age to be integer. So there is a way to manually convert this number to a string. But we will get there before we conclude this section. But instead of doing all the manual conversion, f-string handle all these conversions automatically. Let's look at the syntax of f-strings. To create an f-string, we start with the letter F. So let's say, rather than having this like this, so we have print. Okay, so to start an f-string, we start the letter F and then followed by quotes. All right. So now we can say I am. Now we want to insert a variable inside of our f-string. To place a variable inside of an f-string, we use curly braces. Not square bracket now, curly braces. And then inside of the curly braces, you are going to write your variable. So then we are going to continue that years old, all right? So if we get rid of this now and then print this, you see what we have. So we have our statement, I am 30 years old. You can see that this is much more easier than this, and it's allow us to embed variables inside of our string. You don't have to add an extra space to add space to your string. You just have to type it like you are typing a normal string, but always make sure that you have an F in front of the string to do something like this. If you don't have an F, this will just be like a normal sentence. It will not consider this as a variable. As you can see, we have I am curly brace age years old. So an F must always be in front of this string to make it an F string. F-strings are not limited to just variables. We can also perform simple calculations and expressions within the curly braces. Let's see an example. Let's say we have a variable of length. Okay, length goes with this if I'm correct. Okay, let's say length is 5 and let's say breadth, okay, is 3. Okay, now we want to print a statement and we'll be using these variables inside of an expression. So we're going to have f to start an f string, then followed by a curly braces. So we can say the, okay, so we can say the area of the rectangle is, so we're going to say length, which is the formula for area of rectangle. So we're going to say length times breadth. So we have period. Okay. So if you run this now, let's, okay, we can leave that. Run this now. So you are going to see the area of the rectangle is 15, which is the multiplication of length and breadth. Okay. So this is how you embed an expression inside of an f string. It is not only limited to a variable. In addition to string concatenation, f strings can also help format numbers to any number of decimal places you like, which is especially useful for displaying data like prices with specific decimal places. For example, let's say we have a variable with the name of price, okay, and price is 49.99, all right, and they want to give a discount of 50% to our customer. So to calculate the new price now, we can call the new price, let's call it discounted price. Okay, so the new price is going to be price multiplied by 0.85 because we are giving discount of 50%. That means the new price is going to be 85% of the original price. Okay, so we want to form a statement from our calculation. So we can say f string, okay, we can say the discounted price, okay, is, now we have curly braces to embed this variable inside of our statement. Okay, so we can say discounted price. Discounted price. If we print this like this, what do we have? So we have the discounted price to be 42.4915, but we want to format this price to 2 decimal place, just like a normal price. So to format the price, we can use f string for that. To do that, you start with a colon, then you have full stop, that is period. Then you specify the decimal place you want, followed by f. So you have colon dot 2f. So this is going to format the price to 2 decimal place. So if we run this now, you are going to have 42.49. So f string is also useful for formatting numbers to a specific number of decimal place. Right, to make this more professional, we can add dollar here. So the discounted price is going to be $42.49. There is so much more you can do with f strings. Another thing you can do with f string is that you can also align text or numbers in an output using f strings. F strings provide the way to specify alignment directly within curly braces using the less than or greater than symbols. So let's say we have a variable with the name of name and we are saying our name is Alice, this time not John, and then we want to say the score of Alice, okay, is, let's say, 93/100. Okay, 93. Now we want to form a statement from this variable. So we are going to start with f, which is the syntax for f string, followed by quotes. Then we can say name, okay, name is Alice, which is name, all right. And then we can say score. Let's start with, can say score is score, right? Okay, so if we print this now, we are going to have a normal string. All right, now we want to format name and score. We want to align them to the left and right. So to perform alignment, we are going to start with colon, just like we did with, we are going to start with colon, right? So we want to align name to the left. We are going to use the less than symbol for aligning to the left. Okay, let's provide the number of characters. So let's say we provide 10, okay? So let's also give this, let's say 5. So less than is going to, this is going to be colon. So less than is going to align name to the left within a space of 10 characters, and greater than is going to align score to the right within a space of 5 characters. If we run this again now, you can see what we have. So Alice is aligned to the left within a space of 10 characters, while score is aligned to the right within a space of 5 characters. In this example, we can as well do away with the less than and greater than symbol, and we are still going to arrive at the same result. If I run this now, you see that we arrive at the same result. This is because Python aligns text to the left by default and it aligns number to the right by default, just like a simple Excel sheet. But it is still good to know that you have the less than and greater than symbols for anytime you want to do alignment that is different from the default. So, for example, we want to align this number to the left now, which is not the default behavior. So to align to the left, we are going to use the less than symbol. We run this now, you see that number is going to be aligned to the left within a space of 5 characters. All right, that's that for this lesson. In the next lesson, we'll talk about some common string methods. See you there.